Okay. Thank you, Sarah. We will call the meeting of the Irvington Architecture Review Board to order. Today is Monday, November 27th, 2023. And as is usually the case, we would normally start with continuations and go on to new matters, but there's only one continuation, and it has not been successfully or finally all the information we have not received from them. So we will only hear new matters tonight. I would ask that if you address the board, we would ask that you would tell us who you are, especially if you're not the applicant, and tell us what property it is that you're here to discuss. So we will start with new matters. We'll start with 2023-75, 61 Havermeyer Road. It's a fence. Please raise your hand on the computer if you're here to talk about that particular application. Thank you.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, hi, my name is Anthony Martinato. I'm with Colony Fence Company.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Do you have the application that you can post up for us?
I'm using my cell phone. My computer is giving me problems with the Zoom for some reason. But I have the paperwork here in front of me, and I also have some pictures in case if you want me to show you, the deer fence that we're, applying for.
Sarah, do you have any way to put that up? The copy you sent to us. The copy you sent to us, we'll try to post so we can discuss it together.
Yes. Yes. Let's see. For some reason, it's not letting me post up something.
All right, we're posting it for you.
Oh, you're posting. Okay. Yes, I see it now.
Would you start at the top, Sarah, please?
Oh, it was just the application.
Oh, that's just the application. That's the actual fence. All right. I think my only question was, just scroll up a little bit. It shows there's actually another picture of that shows the width of it, which is actually turns out to be the height of it. It says it's 5 feet, but in fact you're looking at a 6 foot high.
Yes, it is a 6 feet high black welded wire, coated with the color black. So the nickname for it is a deer fence. It's a heavy duty with a top and bottom tension wire, so it can support it. It's pretty much like a chain link fence, but just a little bit less visible. The gauge is still the same strength, just a little bit thinner wire compared to like a chain link mesh.
Sarah, could you scroll down, please? Go on. I just want to see where everybody can see where this fence is going.
Yes, so where I highlighted red, that's exactly where it's going. And that's pretty much it. It's because on the right side, going to the back of her property, those are already fenced in with, I guess her neighbor's fences all along. They have like a chain link. There's a chain link and then a post and rail on the right side.
Okay.
And we're pretty much, just doing a 6 feet high deer fence because she says she has problems with the deers and they want to keep their dog contained inside the backyard.
Don't we all? 3 gates, 2 4-footers and a 5-footer.
Yes, the two 4-footers, one on each side of the property, to have access, and then the 5-footer for like if they need to get access for like a lawnmower or any type of other, stuff they want back there.
The type of fence is typical for what we've allowed and what we expect for deer fence in the village of Irvington. So I have no other questions. I'll ask the rest of the board if they have any other questions.
No.
No. Okay, on that note, I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good to go.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Moving on, we will go to ARB 23-76, 5 Harriman Keep deck. We can see you. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, we can hear you now.
Connor, architect, and we've we're proposing basically a replacement in kind of an existing deck in the row house of these of the townhouses and at Harriman's Keep, and this is number 5. It's a very small deck. We're not adding any surface, any more floor area. Simply it's replacing in kind, and so we went through because there were some questions on the zoning issues. We've resolved all those with the zoning board, with the planning board, and this is 2 years in the making. And we basically want to replace the deck, an existing deck that's rotting away. And
Do you have the ability to bring up the application?
Give me a second. So I basically share my screen, right?
Yep.
Let's see if I can do this. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So this was, and again, we've compared all the floor area ratios with the aerials, with the whole neighborhood.
Could you try,
Basically, this is the
could you try
proposal.
sharing that again? We don't see it. Oh, there it is.
I'm taking care of it.
All right. Okay, we're looking at it
screen?
now. Yeah,
Okay. So it's basically the existing condition, this rear deck. We've eliminated a little bit of some little curb pieces that were there before, like an existing planter, and simply really redoing an existing deck. This is what the project boils down to. You can see the details. We're working on the existing foundations, and that's about it.
okay. Material of the deck,
Material, I'll get to that. It's a second. Yeah, here you go. Is that on your screen? Do you see it?
yes. Are there any gates or railings?
It's nothing, just a little, a simple fence in kind. Let me just go back to what we had. Timber tech specifications here, right? So it's part of the this timber tech system. Very standard, and right now it's a simple plank wood board that's rotting, and we're going to replace it with a better material, and that's about it.
Okay, do you have or did you have to get HOA approval?
No, because
Homeowners?
these are those.
They're what?
not. No, I'm sorry. HOA is does not have an approval process because these these units are all individual condominiums. They're not, so they're all treated as individual homes. So the HOA approval is approved, yes.
Okay,
They have no formal process in place.
most do, that's why I ask. Okay, Sarah, could you scroll, see if there's anything else we missed? Actually, go back, go down a little bit. Want to see, yeah. Okay, so that's, so that railing that can you see I don't know if you can see that. Can you see what's on our screen right now?
Yes, they do.
Okay, so the railing that's shown, has that been eliminated because of the height of the deck?
No, we're just replacing it in kind.
Okay,
We have a railing detail in the drawings.
can we see that, Sarah?
Post detail there.
All right. There we go. Go down a little more. All right. All right. Yeah, that's what I wanted to see. I recall seeing that now. Okay, I'm good to go. Anybody else have any questions or concerns?
No,
I don't have any concerns, just wondered why what triggered planning board approval on this application?
Long story. I'm sure Sarah I'm gonna explain the whole thing because
Okay.
that's a story for another day. We've been at this for 2 years.
Okay.
Basically, where it started out, and again, like I said, I don't have a logical explanation to it. Apparently, it was undocumented, therefore they wanted us to document it because there was no documentation on the existing deck.
Okay,
I
I
think
got it. I
that's
just,
in a nutshell.
all right.
Okay, that explains it. Anybody else? Nothing?
no,
Okay, I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Sorry.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
I,
Okay, you good to go?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to ARB 23-77. 54 Jaffrey Court, the exterior elevation change.
Good evening. My name is Dean Pushler, landscape architect for 54 Jaffrey Court, Tilly King. We are proposing a couple of things. I'm not really sure what you'd like to look at. We have landscaping, we have deck removal, replacing with a patio, and fence
that.
replacement.
Start with the deck, go to the fence, then we'll hit the landscape.
Sounds good. Let me share my screen here. Can you see the application?
Not yet. You see your computer
Okay. Do you see pictures of the property?
on Google Map.
Okay, let me stop share. I'll figure this out here. Hmm. Okay.
Right.
So this is basically the front of the house. Just zip through these pictures quickly. So the deck is here. Um, what we're proposing to do is remove this deck. In this location where you see the deck, we're going to add 2 steps, so the patio is going to be lower. So somewhere in this level. Get to the plan. So the existing deck is here. We're going to remove that deck, add this patio, which is essentially, I guess it's 3 steps below the finished floor elevation. And then we're going to just raise the grade slightly, about 6 to 8 inches on the low end. This will be a bluestone patio with a bluestone curb, or cobblestone curb, excuse me, around the perimeter to lock it in place. So this will be a natural or a thermal finish bluestone here. This walkway will basically extend out and around to here. So that's number 1. Number 2, we're going to remove the existing landing at the front of the house and add a larger landing. So we can add some planters, just a little bit more appropriate for the size of the entrance to the front porch. And the existing fence, there's an existing fence here. This is a wood fence with a lattice topper to this point. And then from this point down, kind of doesn't follow the property line. It comes into here. It goes to here and stops. That is a stockade fence. So we're going to replace that fence, but we're going to move it just inside the property line. So we're working with a surveyor to mark this property corners, and we'll put that fence just inside the property line. So we're basically going to replace this solid wood fence with a topper in kind, and this stockade fence, again, we're going to replace that as well with another stockade fence. In the back of the property, where it's really less visible, we will do a 6-foot high deer fence that runs into just short of this tree, kind of tucks behind these evergreens back here. So picture of what the fence looks like. This will be a cedar fence. This fence coming off the house will be stained the same color as the trim of the house. This fence is going to be natural. It's typically a cedar looking. This fence could be locust, and then the black deer fence, which would be 6 feet high, running along the back side of the property. You want to ask questions now, or should I go on to the landscaping?
Anybody have any questions?
No.
No. You can go on to landscaping.
In the front of the property, there's some hemlock trees. There's 4 hemlock trees that are diseased that we are in the process of working with a town tree commission to remove those, and we're going to replace those with some pink crab apples here on the property line, just to give a little bit more inviting feel to the house, but still provide a little bit of separation to the road. There's some junipers in here that we're going to remove, replace with skip laurel, an evergreen. There's some perennials, some native Itea that are in here, sweet shrub. Along the foundation, we're filling in a few gaps. There's a boxwood hedge along the front porch. A few more skip laurel here. We're part of the approval process with the planning board. We're going to remove some walkways to even out the impervious surface. So there'll be some planting going in where those rock walkways are being removed. There is a service berry in this location off the corner of the house. We're going to remove that tree and replace it with a Japanese maple. And in the back, we have viburnums, witch hazel, kind of more natural feel into these woods. We have white hydrangea, Solomon seal, viburnum, kind of tucked in through here. Around the patio, there's some limelight hydrangea, some perennials, some more boxwoods. There'll be a little garden structure here for vegetables. Inkberry, again, this is behind the house, but really just some long-term flowering trees and shrubs to give that seasonal interest. With a combination of perennials and evergreens and deciduous shrubs.
Certainly done your homework on the landscaping, that's for sure.
Yeah, thank you so much.
That house was already well landscaped, but it's gonna be much more landscaped than it was. But I
The
think
back is a little overgrown, so we're sometimes it takes a little bit to replace some things.
Mhm. It's nice to see that covered porch is gonna have all new landscaping because it's a beautiful porch that no matter where you look, you're gonna be seeing new well-maintained landscaping.
It's a beautiful house, really is.
It certainly is. I know it well. Okay, I didn't have any specific questions. Anything that wasn't answered already? Anything from the board?
No,
No, it looks great.
Yes, I agree. Okay, I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
second,
All in favor?
I,
aye.
Good to go.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yep.
Okay, we're now on to the solar panel part of the meeting. We will start with 23-78, 3 Riverview Terrace. Solar.
Good evening.
We're doing
This is Brandon with Rivertown Solar.
okay.
Here we go. So we are proposing, if I could share my screen here,
Please
Are
do.
presenting there, Cameron. I've got
We can see
Cameron
it.
here with us as well. He's the designer and procurement officer for Rivertown Solar, so he's going to present.
Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Great. You want me to go through this, Brandon, or you want to take it?
So what we've got here is a standard solar install. We've got, I think, what is it, 48 panels to install on this home. It's a fairly large system. Nothing unusual about the install. We're using the same type of panels and racking system. The panels are equipped with an anti-glare film. The panels are to be installed no more than 4 inches from the top of the panel to the roof surface. As you can see, are you able to see Cameron's screen there?
Yes.
Okay. So that's the arrangement that we're proposing to install the panels on this particular house.
Could you zoom into the house itself?
Yeah, I have. If you want to see a different view of it, I have
Well,
a.
it's tough to see the coloring on that where that is right now.
Do you want to see it in this view also?
That would help too.
Um, so that's the front of the house there. That's the
Right.
str- that's the back of the house over here.
Now, obviously, the interrupted array is because of features on the roof itself.
There are
Comes to
existing
play.
there are existing obstructions, such as the chimney, that interrupt the array, as well as the dormer here. And if we can submit like an as-built to have some of these panels become one whole surface, then that would be preferable. But as it is, the tolerance is quite tight right there for an extra panel.
Okay. I mean, we try to keep the array, together as much as we can. Those three single tiles are kind of giving me a little schwitz.
Particular because it's on the front of the house.
What's the percent offset?
We're aiming to achieve 100%.
So what do you do if there's like a super sunny day in February and the homeowner is not even home? You're just producing a ton of electricity that's being sold to the grid at 2 or 3 cents.
So the way it works is we have a 1-for-1 credit on all the electricity produced that gets sent back to the grid. And so if we aim to offset over the course of a year. So let's say the customer is using 10,000 kilowatt hours in a year. We're aiming to produce just over that.
And you feel the array that you're showing us now will get to whatever that point is and not go dramatically over.
Yeah, based on our annual production, which the model shows at almost 16,000 kilowatt hours, we're going to meet our promise to the customer.
I really have an issue with those 3 panels that are by themselves.
Can we remove the 3 panels and still come within some?
If it makes a difference, these 2 trees are blocking this corner of the house.
I don't know about street level.
On Google Maps, you can just see it clearly on the street.
The other thing to highlight here is that we're using black on black panels that are very similar to the existing color of the roof. And they have a sleeker texture than the existing color of the roof.
Could you zoom into that a little bit?
What would the offset be if you removed those 3 panels? Like
Well,
85%, 90%? Roughly.
Well, we would be let's see. So it would decrease the offset by about it would be about 6 or 7% less production based on removing those panels. So
So
Um,
still pretty close to 100%,
it would be under 100% at that point. So,
but over 90%, yes?
yeah,
I mean, my recommendation would be to remove those 3 panels then. It doesn't
What's-
impact offset all that much.
well, it takes it's a, yeah, it's certainly a significant financial change from what they're expecting. Let me
Is
see if
it, then the upfront cost would be lower also? So wouldn't if you did like a rate of return on the investment, the rate of return would probably be around the same, because your upfront cost would be lower.
we wouldn't be able to lower
You're
our overhead.
producing less electricity.
We wouldn't be able to lower our overhead significantly. For every panel is a significant financial gain for the customer. Even and the more panels, the better the return on each individual panel. So,
Is this something you want to take back to your customer and discuss?
well, we'd like to get. I mean, I have this. Let me bring up this right here, the street view, because this from the street doesn't show significantly over here. Now, if you want us to move the panel that was going to be right there over here, that would be a pretty and so it wouldn't be a significant change, and we could have a little bit more uniformity along the front of the house right there.
Can you go down the street a little bit to look at the side of the house?
Sure.
I thought there was an obstruction that you couldn't put that last panel in. Next to the chimney, because obviously that would be better to have that array completed without that gap in it.
Yeah. Would that work for you guys if we move that one panel?
That helps.
All right. Well, we could work with you there. Is that satisfy? If I'll move this over.
So now we're only talking about 2 panels that don't look so good on the front.
Is that a deal breaker for you guys? Or is there a possibility that the street view is unsubstantial?
Could you go back to the street view that you were just at?
Yeah.
Cam,
Just-
the last panel's not gonna fit. It's going to be interrupted by the chimney. If you see that. It's not gonna fit that way. That won't work.
Um, well, let's discuss the other 2 panels. Is that okay? Because I think the let's see. You wanted to see the street view again?
Yeah.
Also, from further down, as we're going
Right.
up the street, we have these trees blocking that side of the roof.
Did you face the house before you get to that point?
Yep, this is before. This is coming up the street.
Right.
So until you get right to their property line, there's a small area here, and then coming down the other way, it's also not visible.
Is there a house right to the right of that house?
Over here, but
Yeah.
there's trees separating.
They're not evergreens, however. Would you go back to the array? Would it be possible to take the two remaining panels and move them over to the left?
Would you allow us to be a little bit closer to the ridge there?
They have to be below the ridge.
We
By
could
code.
provide a, yeah, we would be not over the ridge.
I'm just thinking out loud only because the homeowner is gonna see that both of those panels probably to the right. But you really can't see them from the street.
The homeowner that received a letter from us.
Yep.
Okay. Would that be, how does that look?
That won't, I don't think, first of all, you're in the fire zone, probably 8 on either side of the eve.
We could provide an alternate, I mean, we could provide an alternate access to this ridge so that it didn't need to be a pathway across the roof. If that's what you would like to prior.
I think you should run the financials without the 3 panels that we object to. And hold your percent margin the same. The bulk of the build cost is not margin, but is the panels. And see what that does to the customer's IRR. Because I think the bulk of the return is the ITC, right? In the very first year, and then any kind of renewable energy credits that exist in New York State nowadays. I used to work in commercial and industrial solar, but 5 years ago, so I'm a little rusty on what kind of SRECs or whatever kind of RECs exist in New York State. But I would think lowering the offset from 105% to 97% is not gonna impact the return all that much, and I think would make for a much more aesthetically pleasing project with a lower upfront cost for the customer.
Well,
my recommendation.
we can't reduce the cost, we can't reduce the cost, the same amount, because adding, each solar panel only costs like a couple $100, so it's not proportional to adding 3 more panels is significantly easier than, than the bulk of the project. So, I mean, it's not, those last few panels are much more affordable to put than the rest of the panels. So it's not 100% proportional. But this is valued at, these 3 panels would be valued at about $350 a year in electric savings. So, yeah, I mean, that's what they're losing, that's what they're missing out on. And we can reduce it a little bit, for them, but it's, yeah, their money. So, I don't, if we were able to put it over here, if the building department was able to have us put it here, would,
You have to be below the eve, below to,
Shouldn't extend beyond the highest point.
right,
That one.
yeah.
well,
Wanna
that's
read
not,
that? You don't have it.
Pitch roof, the highest point of the equipment at full extension shall not extend beyond the highest point of the roof
that's fine.
to which it's attached.
This
So
wouldn't,
there's gonna be some setback.
that would not extend over the peak of the roof. There's enough,
So
there's
the
enough.
other part of the, I'm sorry, the other part of the code that we're really having trouble with here is that it should be arranged in a regular pattern on the roof, and these panels that are scattered across the dormer are not.
How would you define a regular pattern? Does that mean no breaks?
Well, that's a good question. That's what it means to me, but
Pam, let's talk to them about removing the 2 panels that are the oddball panels. And, we'll kind of go back to the drawing board with the client. We'll just have this conversation with them.
Okay, since we're here, I think we could fit a 3-foot pathway between these 2 panels. Would that, in that scenario, would you accept these?
That would have to be accepted by the building department, but as far as I'm concerned, if there's a 3-foot aisle, which is what your goal is, it would work for me.
Wonderful. Okay, well, let's
Why
do
don't
that
we,
then.
let's
Let's talk to Ed about that.
yeah, speak to the, I guess you need to speak to the customer and get back to us.
Well, if we can maintain the original panel count, then we can still uphold our contract. And if we are allowed to proceed without these 2 panels, then that would be the best case scenario for, I think, everybody.
Okay. The only problem I see is I still see red on that one panel that's up against the chimney. So is that gonna fit or is it not?
The way I have it laid out, it would overhang slightly on this side.
Overhang slightly on what side?
It would overhang the house eave slightly.
That can't happen.
Okay.
What's that over to the left, the garage?
No, this is just their house siding.
Well, you
Keep,
have panels on the back roof of that left-hand structure, but not on the front roof of that little
Yeah, this
left-hand.
area, this area is too shaded. It's got the house on the north side. It's got the tree overhead, and it doesn't get enough sun to be valuable to the client. Only the southern and eastern facing roof planes get enough sun to that's why this panel is the highest producing panel on the whole roof per panel.
okay, can we come back to us with the change in layout and you know, with a blessing from the owner? And we can talk about going ahead.
So
Have
Yeah,
the
I'm
panels.
Cam, why don't you
on the roof.
delete the two oddball panels so that we can get a visual on what we're proposing here? Because we would like to see if we can get approval tonight on a revised design here. We
Well,
wouldn't
if you
think-
tell me that the panels are hanging off the roof on the left, I can't approve that.
Understood.
Well, then I'll change that. All right. So I've got that. Now there's just this panel that I don't know if it's visible from the street, but if we did it like that,
Visible by the neighbor next door, though.
we've communicated with them about this project, and they
And
don't.
if they have any problem, they're about to get their say, because I'm about to open up a public hearing on this. If in fact you want to go forward with it.
What's the? I don't know that process. Brandon, are you familiar with this
Yeah,
process?
they're gonna open up to the public for comments.
That's part of the typical process?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve a public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Consider the public hearing open. Sarah, if anybody has any comments, pro or con, please raise your hand and Sarah will let you into the meeting.
Have somebody that.
Okay. We do have
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah, this is I mean, I'm pro the plan. I just think we should get solar panels whenever we can, and if there's a good plan for it to reduce energy in the house that needs 100% of energy reduction, I think we should just go for it. That's my view.
Regardless of what it looks like, right?
Regardless of what it looks like, this is about function more than it is about form.
Well, except we're just following the code.
Okay. Anybody else? Sarah, anybody raise their hand?
Nobody else is raising their hand to speak, and there are no comments in the chat.
Okay. Okay, I will make a motion to close the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. No, nothing really was achieved with the public hearing, but do you have a final design that you want to propose to us tonight for our consideration?
I think this is the design that we're looking to get approved. Is that correct, Cameron?
Yeah.
So this is what we're looking at. This is the design that we're looking to get approved.
Okay. Alrighty. Do I have a motion on the floor to approve the array as shown? Do I have a motion to approve the array as shown? No takers?
Can I say yes, or is that not my role?
Say again?
Whose role is that? Are you asking me, or are you asking the?
No, I'm asking the board members whether they're
Okay.
looking to approve what we see.
Okay.
And I can't get anybody to approve it. Do I have a motion on the floor to disapprove the array as shown? Gotta make up my mind, I guess.
Folks, if there's something that you want changed, now's the time. So please tell us. Cameron's nimble with his fingers and he's quick to change things. So I'd like to hear from you. What would you like to see different?
I would like to see a regular pattern on the front of the house.
We can't achieve that with the offset that we're promising the client. If moving that final solar panel will get us approved, then that's what we'll do.
I mean, the regular pattern is not really about. It doesn't specify anything about single modules on a roof plane, and in many cases, it would that would be a problem because customers have vent pipes and chimneys, and even the windows on the back of the roof are isolated, and these are cleaner than many skylights. So
I think if you can run the numbers without those 3 panels that we talked about, talk to the client and talk to the neighbor with the most view of that from their 2nd-story bedroom windows and get their blessing, then I'd be fine with it.
Well, we've gone through due process to communicate to the neighbor, and the neighbor is welcome to join this meeting. I think that's the purpose of the public hearing, correct? I don't think we should go above and beyond what we're doing tonight to get any more blessings or approvals. So I'm asking the panel again, is there anything different that you want to see in order to get us approval tonight?
Yeah, and those 2 totally black panels go on next to the north of plan view of the windows on the roof, skylights.
It doesn't fit 2 panels. As I remember, I can let's see. It possibly could fit 1. Let me give it a shot. We could put this panel if it would lower the production slightly.
That's a good option, Cameron.
Yeah, but it would still fulfill our contract.
I can't see. Is there any space to the left of those or to the south of those skylights?
In this,
What if you put like 4 or 5 panels on that shaded part of the garage? They would not be shaded in winter time, right? Or they'd still be shaded by the house, I guess you're saying.
They would get 1/3 to 1/4, if that, of any of these other panels on the roof. So it would be
4 panels
because
bigger space.
No, this area is a incredibly poor location for solar panels because it's a low roof. The sun angle on this roof is most of the year comes at 40 degrees. So 40 to 20 degrees off of the roof. This roof plane here at 40 degrees, this far side is still completely shaded by the roof, except in this one place right there. So not to mention that it's a west facing roof. So any of the western sun is going to hit right through that. I mean, it's going to be impeded by this roof here. And then not to mention the tree overhead. So that's
One panel off the side.
But-
And the two panel, is that not acceptable?
Sure.
Say again?
Yeah.
It is? If we put the one in the back,
Yeah.
so we get it off that eave.
so you want to remove that one?
Yeah, if we were to, if that was the one that was gonna shift to the back.
Sure.
I think we would be okay with the two panels to the right of the chimney and that one other panel. Instead of being in the front on the dormer, it would be on the next to the skylights.
Okay. Yeah.
That is that.
Yeah, we can move this one to the back. It would be a small impact on the client, but not something that we could work with.
Okay,
So I can take that off. There you go.
Fine.
okay. I will make a motion to approve that array. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. You good to go that way?
Thank you very much, folks. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Very good. Okay, we will go on to 23-79, 59 Sycamore Lane, also solar. We can't hear you, you're muted.
I'm sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Hi, it's Rona with New York State Solar Farm Sun Power Panels for 59 Sycamore. I have our plan set up to show you. This is actually the design. It's facing south. We have 30 Maxeon 415 watt panels here. This is how the plan set goes. Is there anything specifically that you would like to see? Judging by the questions you had for the previous application, this covers about somewhere between 80 and 90% offset.
Okay, any other questions?
I think this one's fine.
Yeah, looks good.
We've got all the setbacks and fire setbacks covered here.
Just breeze through where the infrastructure is going through the house. Where the cutoffs are gonna be and things of that nature.
Sure. So the conduit will come. Let me see if I can turn this around. The conduit is coming down from here off the top just a little bit, hooking into this one, and then I can show you here. Need to find what page it's on. Hang on one second.
It's live here on the ground. It's on me tonight where 11 hostages just arrived back on Israeli soil.
Yep, the utility meters here. So the conduit would come down here along the top and down into here.
Right.
Violations will also be reunited with their families. 9 of them are children.
The racking is the Invisimount, so it's very close to the roof.
Their mother Sharon was also pretty
You have something on those sections that show from the roof surface to the top of the panel what that dimension is?
I do. Hang on just 1 second. I need to pull it up.
Think about that for a moment. How bittersweet it is to finally out of Gaza, your return home, and whether your dad is still in the clutches of terrorists. The hostages released tonight were all kidnapped from the same place, Heroes, southern Israel. They're all also dual citizens, but no, today.
Did you possibly mute your TV? We're listening to the news.
Oh, no. It's far away. I'm sorry about that. Hang on.
No problem.
Are you able to see this?
We are.
Okay, so here's, I'm assuming this is what you're wanting
Yes,
to
that is-
see?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
This is overhead, so we come down from the top, hidden across here, connecting to this set, and then down to here.
Okay. Any questions?
No.
No.
Okay, I think you've shown us everything we needed to see. I would make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
We're good to go.
Thank you very much. Have a great night.
You too.
I don't think there's any ever speaking to a public
I know.
hearing.
Well, we can do it now. We approved it. Yeah, we approved it. All right, was there anybody on?
I don't believe so.
Okay, moving on to the last solar application, ARB 23-80, 41B North Broadway.
Hi, my name is Stacy Varian. I'm representing Tesla Energy Operations for the solar installation at 41 North Broadway.
Okay,
Let me share screen. Okay, so we're proposing a 15.39 kilowatt system with 38 panels. All black on black panels are going on the roof. And this is the proposed site plan.
you have a site plan that just shows the panels, a little confusing with the.
Yep. So are you just looking for this elevation pretty much?
I guess, yeah, I mean, that helps us understand where these panels are going. Could you zoom into that if at all
Sure.
possible?
Yeah.
two panels that are on the right side of the house, they're separated because of a feature on the roof?
Yeah, because of the existing obstructions on the roof. There's a few vent pipes, and then there's also dormers that are sticking out on various parts of the roof. So that's where the breakups are in the panels.
All right, I know I asked a question, during the month, during the week, about, the panels on the right side of the house, which
Okay.
are facing the, aqueduct buffer.
Mhm.
My question is, if we're gonna allow, panels to be facing the aqueduct buffer,
Uh-huh.
which is a pretty serious thing in Irvington, it's like the Broadway buffer, they really get intense about it. If I'm gonna,
Okay.
allow panels to be facing that way, I'd
Uh-huh.
like to have some semblance of comfort with the fact that those large specimen sycamores are not gonna be hiding the panels the entire time. I mean, I know sycamores
Uh-huh.
are 6 month, they bloom for 6 months and then they're gone, but still
Okay.
6 months without those panels is considerable, I would think.
Are you referring to these trees on this side of the home?
Yes, I am. Yep.
Okay, so there is gonna be some tree removal that's gonna be done by the homeowner. Obviously, that's cognizant on the project being approved. They're not gonna do that prior to. And I do have a photo of which trees are being proposed to be taken down. So the three that are circled are the ones that we're proposing to come down, basically because if they stay up, they will not have any production on their system because it's completely shaded.
We're not seeing where those three circles are.
Oh,
Is
you
that-
can't see the three red circles on the photo?
No, ma'am.
Give me 1 second, sorry.
It may have lost it when you zoomed in.
Gotcha. Okay,
And-
are you able to see it now?
Yes.
Okay.
All I can say is we're a Tree City USA, and I will be very surprised if they allowed
Mhm.
three totally healthy,
Mhm.
large specimen sycamores to be removed.
That would
Right.
That would make this house viewable from Broadway.
Well, certainly from the aqueduct.
Yeah, is the system gonna be, are you gonna be able to see it from Broadway?
So I'm gonna show you the aerial view so you can see what will be visible. There will still be some trees left, and there are trees on the other side of the street as well. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull this up.
So that's the aqueduct on the right there that
Mm.
says Old Croton, and then where would Broadway be? Like,
Another few hundred feet above, that way. There's Broadway, you can see
Hmm.
Broadway there.
Okay, so as you can see, there's still a tree line there, so it still will be pretty covered, the house, from street view.
Have that in,
Guess in the term-
so this house is not one of the houses closest to Broadway on that little private drive. I'm looking at like that kind of French Tudery one with the big circular driveway is real close to Broadway, right? In the bottom right there.
the one that's
Yeah.
going behind there. is-
Okay,
Is the new house, the newest house, I should say.
Oh, I see. Okay. So it's not on Broadway.
No.
right, so it's pretty secluded, actually,
it's
although it is
from
On a dead
it-
end, yeah.
the aqueduct.
the aqueduct bucket. Sarah, do you know what protocol is?
About the buffers?
No, I mean, I know what that is. I'm more concerned about approving this before,
The tree
the
permit.
tree permits.
They can file for an application and it's up to the tree commission.
But
We're dependent on that.
So I think it would go both ways also though, because I don't think without knowing they're gonna have approval, they're gonna want to file the application to remove the trees. I think it's kind of gonna go hand in hand, which is not a typical situation for us. So I'm not really sure how that would be handled.
Do you deal often with Tree City USA's?
No, I honestly, it's very rare that we have trees taken down for our installations. This unfortunately is just extremely shaded and there's not really another option if they want to go solar.
You looking to approve it?
Well, if they take the trees down, it's gonna be viewable from the aqueduct, and if they don't take the trees down, then the system's not gonna produce any electricity.
So not all of them are coming down either, so there still will be that line of trees in front that will cover it.
And the house is sort of like sunken down below the aqueduct trail, right?
Right at eye level.
Yeah,
What's your kind?
This is, I don't know, this is unusual.
For us too, yeah.
Again, so the panels are going on both sides?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll put it back up.
Both of them are actually on the
Yep.
west.
So they're going on both sides of the home. Yeah.
I would say the bulk of them though are on the west facing side.
Yes.
Well, can you move? I don't know, there's enough room, but can you move all those panels to the west side?
Unfortunately, because there's dormers and existing vent pipes, we won't have room to move them over. Plus, we need to abide by fire setbacks and ventilation setbacks at the ridge. So moving them over, unfortunately, won't be an option.
what are those rooftops at the top of the photo,
Let me
closer
pull-
to the
The
pool?
garage?
Is that the garage or
I'm sorry, are
Yes.
you referring to this?
No, above.
the top of the photo near the pool?
Oh,
Keep going.
let me go up to
It's
this
like a
plan.
two smaller buildings of some sort, maybe a garage or a guest house.
I'm just gonna go up to the site plan because it'll be easier to look at from there. Okay. So
Good
yeah,
structure.
yep. This right here, I believe it's the detached garage.
So could you put panels on the garage?
I think either way, we would still have to remove trees because if you look at this screen, it's also very heavily shaded. So this is what you're referring to right here. And as you can see, it's pretty heavily shaded there as well.
But if you put them on the west side of the garage,
Mm-hmm. That,
could you put some panels on the west side of the house, some panels on the west side of the garage? You might still have to take trees down.
I
If you did
don't,
it,
mhm.
but then it wouldn't necessarily be viewable from the Aqueduct Trail.
Yeah. So looking at it, I don't believe there wouldn't be enough room to fit. I mean, we could maybe squeeze like 2 panels onto this west side roof, I would assume. Which would still not account for the other, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 panels that are on that front side of the house.
At this point. We might as well improve it, because if they're not gonna get the trees taken down, they're not gonna put it up. Right or wrong?
I think so. I think if they allow the trees, I
I'll
think they're gonna
be-
require some more vegetation.
I'll be in shock. Well, I mean, that's up to them.
The tree
That's up to
commission.
tree commission.
Yeah.
They take those 3 large specimen trees down, they got a lot of planting to do. I know that from from past experience. Well, at this point, could you show the array again?
Sure. There you go.
10, 14 panels. I think they could probably get away with taking one tree down. But that's a tree commission's issue. All right. You the same way?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I just don't want to be the, I just don't want to imply that we're recommending trees come down.
No.
Used with the tree commission.
Nope.
We
I will,
definitely avoid it whenever we can, so we know it's definitely not a recommendation on anyone's end. Anytime we can avoid it, we do. This is probably the first time in, you know, many years that I've actually seen trees being removed for this, so it's a really one-off situation.
All right, well, I will make a motion to approve. With the hopes that the tree commission figures their end of the bargain out.
Do you have to do the public meeting first?
Yes. I will make a motion to open the public meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I will ask if anybody wants to be heard, to please raise their hand.
Nobody's raising their hand to speak, and there are no comments in the chat.
Okay, with that being said, nobody in the chat and nobody raising their hand to be heard. I will make a motion to close the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, once again, I will approve the I will make a motion to approve the solar array as we see it on the application. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Thank you.
good luck with the tree, people.
Thank you.
Specimen trees on the Aqueduct Trail.
Yep. Real. Okay, moving on quickly, it's getting late. 23-81, 26 Willow Street, an addition.
Good evening, Jim Metzger. Can everybody hear me?
Ken, and we can see you too.
That's great. I'm Jim Metzger. I'm the architect representing Sean and Carolyn Newhouse at 26 Willow. We are proposing a second floor addition on a split level project, and I'll go right into the project and describe what we're doing as we go along.
Okay.
Can everybody see my screen?
And
great. Just to get through some of the boilerplate, this is our application for the building permit. This is the as built survey that was proposed, that was sent to the board, and the certification by our surveyor that is an accurate survey. We were approved by the zoning board. I'm sorry, by the planning board at their last meeting, and they had asked us to prepare a drawing showing a wireframe representation of what we're proposing. So that's what these next two photographs will show. We're talking about a relatively simple addition to what's a split level house. The split runs side by side, or rather front to back, rather than the typical side by side. And we're talking about adding a second floor above the existing living room. It's a simple hip roof with no dormers. This is our survey and showing the area that we're proposing building on. And the existing conditions in the neighborhood. The new houses have a very modest house. It is a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath. They now have 2 children. We're looking to add a 3rd bedroom and a second full bath. These are the plans that we're proposing, and the small axonometric, which I've blown up a little bit later in the presentation, gives you an idea of what we're proposing. What you see in brown on this sketch is the addition to the house, and what you see in blue is what we're proposing painting the existing cedar shingles on the house. We are not proposing any changes to the basement or to the first floor, but we would be removing the roof that's over the existing living room, and that's where we would be adding 2 bedrooms and a bathroom, small hallway with a little working area and a walk-in closet. From looking at this plan, you can see we're also going to add a skylight to bring light down into the stairwell that we're creating, and we're going to be extending the chimney up so we're above the peak of the roof. These are the proposed elevations. It's fairly easy to see what we're showing as the existing shingles on the house, and then the new board siding that we're proposing, and I'll be talking about that a little bit later on. As we look at the section, you could see we're creating a new stair to this second level, which is where the bedrooms and the bathroom will be. Here is the skylight, which will bring light down into the center of the house. There's a quick sketch section a little bit farther back where the master bedroom and the walk-in closet are, with the kitchen below and the dining below. We were asked to prepare a drawing by the planning board to show the existing conditions, and then what we're proposing is new. So I think these 2 drawings from the front of the house, these 2 drawings from the rear of the house really give you a good indication of what we're proposing. The finished height of our house is still about 4.5 feet below what's allowable by code. We've recreated the drawings with the wireframe model here. And down over here, we are not proposing any disturbance on the site. And in fact, all of the construction will happen within the footprint of the existing building. And there is a note in this elevation that the south side of the addition that we're proposing is set 2 inches back from the south side of the existing house. And that is so we comply with zoning and the side yard setbacks, and we won't require any variances on the project. This is a blow up of that axonometric, and we're proposing, and I'll show you the color scheme that we're proposing, a pale bluish gray on the existing cedar shingles. And then we're proposing a Nishi-Ha plank in a cedar finish on the new addition to the building. The house right now has a very cottage sort of look to it, and we're hoping to create more of a mid-century modern look. And we want to identify the new addition in a way that's harmonious with the existing building. This is the Nishi-Ha siding that we're proposing using the cedar. And if I go down, this gives you a pretty good idea. This is actually from their catalog of showing what that sort of pale blue gray would look like against the cedar siding. These are the colors that we're proposing for the building. The solitude would be on the existing cedar siding, and then to give a little bit of a reprieve from all of that light blue, we would want to do the front door and the garage door in this sage tint. So again, they're fairly modest colors. We're proposing Marvin windows. They're very narrow frame. They're a little bit more modern than the old wood windows that are in the house. And we're proposing a 2/1, which I can go back to the elevations. These are the double hungs that we'll be using, but again, in a 2/1 as opposed to a 4/1. And in the back of the house, this is just a quick sketch of what the installation details look like. In the back of the house, we're actually proposing a pair of flanking casements and a picture window, because those are the best views of the river from this house. So we wanted those windows to be as open as possible. And again, it's on the back of the house. It's not viewable from any of the neighbors. We're proposing a simple architectural shingle in a very neutral medium gray color, this Max Def pewter wood. And just so that you know what we're proposing to extend the chimney up, we're going to keep the existing masonry chimney, but in order to get the output, the required 3 feet above the peak of the roof, we're going to be putting on a new cap and a simple cylinder. And then it's just the flat plate that attaches to the top of the brick chimney. For the skylight, we're using a very standard Velux skylight. We'll probably be using a deck mounted unit because it's very close to the peak of the roof, and we won't be worrying about any buildup of snow above that. So it basically will not be visible from the street. Let me go back to that. Are there any questions?
I don't think so.
No.
Nothing that I'm having a problem with, that's for sure.
Is the 2-inch setback you're talking about on the new roof, the new dormer?
I'm sorry, could you ask that again, please?
What was this 2-inch setback you were talking about?
Oh, I'm sorry. On this wall, can you see where I'm pointing?
Yeah.
This wall is set back 2 inches from the wall below it. This wall is 2 inches too close to the side property line. So in order to avoid having to go for a variance, it was easier to just move this wall back to 2 inches, and we're about an inch behind the 10-foot required setback. It will really pretty much not be visible from anywhere, but it was a detail I discussed with the building inspector.
Okay.
Anything else? Did you have a window schedule? So I mean, are all the windows being replaced in the house?
Yes, they are. Let me go to the elevations real quick. So we are replacing all of the existing windows. They're all going to be within the existing openings. We're not enlarging any openings. And the existing house, let me go over to this drawing. The existing house, because it's more of a cottage, it's a 2/2, but the 2 is split horizontally. And they're very kind of dated, and they're old wood windows. They're actually storm windows over them right now. And there are shutters on the windows, which of course are the shutters that don't make any sense, but we used them back in the day. We'd like to modernize the house a little bit, and using the same exact opening, go to a 2/1 in the bulk of the windows and eliminate the shutters on the side. So it's a little bit more of a modern appearance. And then on the back of the house, where we have the new window, this is in the master bedroom, we want to do flanking casements with a picture window, because this is the primary view to the river. So we're not proposing putting any mullions in there to maximize the view out. This small sliding window would be for the dressing room, just to provide some natural light.
Garage door being changed?
No, we're just going to clean it and paint it.
What about lighting?
No exterior lighting.
Okay. Okay, I think you've done a very good job presenting this, that's for sure.
Thank you.
I will defer to, I don't have any other questions. I'll defer to the rest of the board and see if they have any questions or concerns.
I'm good. I think it looks great.
Yeah, it looks good.
Thank you.
Questions?
Alrighty, I will then make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And finally, ARB 23-82, 39 Beechwood Road, addition and a pool.
Hello.
How are you, John?
Good. How are you guys? John Malone, Ferguson Malone Architecture, representing the Larks. We have a project for addition to an existing house on Beechwood. It's a modern house or a contemporary house that's sort of being reconfigured as something more in a colonial style. Just quickly, what's going on here? Are you guys still there?
Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me try to share again. Here, so froze. Okay. So are you seeing, this is just some images of the existing house. This is the front elevation. Contemporary, I believe it was built in the 90s. As we go around the house, this is the rear elevation. This is the back. In terms of what we're proposing to do, we are rebuilding some of the additions coming out of the rear, and we're basically squaring off a lot of the house. So the front elevation, proposed front elevation is more like this. It has a new sort of classical entry portico in it. The existing openings on the second floor are remaining, and there's a slight cantilever here that's remaining. Existing windows on the lower floor are openings. The windows are going to be replaced. The openings are in the same place. And then the roof is being raised in this area here to provide for a primary bathroom. The garage is being enlarged slightly to this direction in order to allow for the two carriage house doors. The side elevation, this is the west facing elevation. It's a relatively blank elevation now. We're not making that much change to it, but the roof form is changing. It's going up higher than it is right now to allow this extension in the rear. What you're seeing on the side here is there's a balcony and screen porch that is being proposed on the back of the building. Rear elevation, you see again on this side, the balcony and screen porch that we're proposing. This is the reconstruction of the existing dining room on new foundations. It's sort of a portion of the building that's failing. The kitchen is being brought out slightly. This is the kitchen area, and the second floor is being brought out slightly. Primary bedroom suite.
What's in the middle of the screen porch that's being shown as
That I think it's also siding. I think there's a hatch in there that made it kind of hard to read, but in between these two doors is more siding. Basically, I think we drew it with a dot pattern that was supposed to indicate there's a retractable screen that comes down like a big curtain. So I think that messed up the hatch that was showing the siding. And so this is the side looking at the side of the extended garage. Stairs down to a basement powder room that was designed to serve the pool. And then here you see the side of the screen porch. This sort of lightly dot hatch areas to indicate that there'll be a roll down screen that's similar to a interior solar shade that comes down and provides the screen function. The project also includes, so just in terms of finishes, the new finishes would be the siding for the house would be, one second, is a hardy plank siding that we're proposing. Let me just go that quickly. So we're going to use the smooth statement collection, which is meant to look like a cedar siding with a 6-inch exposure. On the roof, we're using a slate-like, it's an asphalt shingle that's designed to emulate slate. This is the GAF model of that, sort of a high-end architectural shingle roof. There's areas where the foundation is exposed, which we're going to cover with a thin brick, which is about a 1/4 inch thick, but it's meant to emulate a historic brick or sort of an older looking brick with a handmade look. And then we have included some images of the light fixtures that we've shown. So quickly to go back to the, we've shown a few sconces that there's sconces on this side that are lighting the way down to this lower basement. There are sconces on either side of the doors and on the balcony above here. And then on the front of the house, there's nothing shown on this side, but on the front of the house, there is sconces between the garage doors, and there's a ceiling mounted fixture in the entry. And in addition to that, there are a few spotlights. So in the specifications binder that we sent you, we're showing the sconces. I pulled up some pictures. Let me see where that is. One second. It's just an image of the light, sort of better to understand the light that we're proposing. And then this sconce that we're proposing. These are dark sky sconces, meaning that the lighting element is in the top here. It shines down. Other than that, the project includes a new swimming pool, which would have a bluestone surround around it right now. And then there is a fence that's indicated as well. If I can put the fence in 1 second. There's the architectural site plan showing the new fence. There's a new fence around the perimeter of the house that allows for the pool. This is the pool and hot tub, and basically the stone associated with the pool would be a blue stone, the same that would be on the patio and the lower patio here. And
Before
then
we get to
there's
the pool, John, could you show the fence?
fence. Let me show you the detail for it. Hold on a sec. And here's the detail for the stair. On the top of the stair rail is a small fence to protect from a fall. And then the other fence that's shown is a wood fence with a topper on top of it.
What's the height of that fence, John?
It is a 5 foot minimum, 6'6" max, but it's actually shown at about 6'6" with the top. So it's like it's 5 feet to the top of the solid portion and 6'6" with the topper.
And the topper looks like what? Can it be see through?
Yeah, it's a lattice topper.
And material of the fence?
It is cedar painted.
Obviously, the gate complies with pool codes.
Yes, it does.
Okay, could you go to the pool now? Unless anybody has any questions on the fence.
No.
Okay,
So the swimming pool is in this area in the rear of the yard, has a retaining wall with a stone veneer on it, and then a fence that hides the equipment. And then the pool, I think we have a pool detail sheet here. Sort of shows the layout of the pool. There's really just it's limited to a coping stone around the perimeter. And that's it. That's all that's expressed there. This coping stone is this light line here. And that's bluestone coping. So it's basically a bluestone pool in lawn area.
would you say the equipment was, John?
The equipment is in this area here, and it's hidden behind this screen, which is not visible off the property, but there's a wood screen that is making this a continuous line here, and the wall is for the pool equipment. The wood screen is shown here, different than the. Let's see what we have here. The details. Wood screen is shown here at the bottom. So it's a simple sort of wood screen at the backing up one end of the pool, which is lower, just a 4-foot screen that's hiding the pool equipment.
Okay. Anything else that we need to see, John?
I don't think so, unless you guys have questions. I could try to dig it out.
Okay. You did a good job of laying it all out. I don't have any additional questions. I'll ask the rest of the board if they do.
No,
No, no question.
Okay. On that note, I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
second,
All in favor?
aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Any other issues to discuss other than what we discussed previous?
We're not talking about 30 South Ferris Street.
No.
Oh.
No, that was unless you see an asterisk next to that.
Oh, okay.
Here, here,
okay,
that's when you know we're actually gonna hear it. I think Sarah said that they didn't get their new information in time, so we'll definitely
Okay.
probably hear them next month. Okay, I will make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?